Us Kiwis love a good get-together. So we got together heaps of world-famous brands in stores all across New Zealand. So you're well covered, like tea sauce on a saucy roll. No leeming.
Kia ora, good morning. We have interrupted your scheduled programming to bring you some breaking news. Researchers at GNS Science have detected a large mass of toxic gases being emitted from Rotorua Lake earlier this morning. While there haven't been any fatalities or injuries reported yet, we advise all citizens to seek refuge indoors and to wear a mask. All boats and marine vessels are being warned to dock at nearby harbors and beaches in order to remain away from the toxic gases. Civil defense officials are moving into the area now and helping evacuate people, as it is likely that the entire city of Rotorua will be placed into a state of emergency.
Warning, please do not turn off your devices. This is an emergency alert issued at the request of Civil Defence and GNS Science. This message has been issued at 8:03 a.m. New Zealand Standard Time on the 28th of June 2025. This is not a test. Toxic gases such as carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide have been detected to be emitting from the Rotorua caldera lake at 7:45 a.m. New Zealand Standard Time. While there is no current cause as to why this is happening, it is at our interest that all residents within a 20 km radius are to evacuate away from the area. The city of Rotorua will be placed into a state of emergency as officials will try and determine the causes of the sudden release of toxic gas. If you are unable to evacuate from the area, remain indoors or get to higher ground. If you are unable to get to any high area that's above 450 meters above sea level or higher, you may face certain or imminent death. If you are above high ground, wear a mask and stay as far away from the lake as possible. If you have means of traveling by car, do so, but avoid busy roads as you or other people may congest traffic and put more people's lives in danger. As of right now, a gas cloud does appear to be forming near Mokoia Island, and it is expanding towards the city of Rotorua as well as the communities of Hamurana and Tikiteri, moving at least 200 km per hour. Civil defense personnel will be moving into the affected areas shortly once the toxic gas disperses and will help rescue survivors. For the sake of your safety and other people's safety, please stay tuned for any further information and evacuate if you can. Thank you for paying attention to this announcement. Do not turn off your devices. Please pay attention to the following announcement. This is a regional emergency broadcast that has been issued at the request of Civil Defence and GNS Science. This is not a test. It is now safe to return back towards your current areas of residence. However, as a precaution in case of another toxic gas leak coming from the lake, officials have advised residents not to remain within at least 10 kilometers of the lake for a maximum time period of an hour. You are able to go back if you need to collect essentials or belongings such as food, water, a battery-powered radio, a first aid kit, a torch, or a family pet that you've left behind. The current death toll from the gases is currently unknown. However, there are at least more than 100 people who are reported to be missing. There are certain areas around the lake that are still temporarily uninhabitable due to gases that have been emitted. If you or your family reside within the area of Hamurana, please remain away as there are still reports of toxic gases within that area. As well as that, a temporary emergency camp will be set up on the outskirts of Rotorua that will not only be established as a hospital but also as a refugee camp. Support and funds from the New Zealand Government and the Auckland Council will be sent towards the area of Rotorua and other affected areas from the Rotorua caldera incident. Other lakes such as Taupo caldera and the Okatina caldera in the Taupo volcanic zone will also be monitored by scientists from GNS Science and GeoNA in the event that similar materials and gases are also being emitted from these lakes. While there is no clear cause as to why such a phenomenon has occurred within the Rotorua caldera, officials are not ruling out the idea that this could be signs of another potential volcanic event. While there have been minimal earthquakes within the area, both GNS Science and GeoNA are on alert as the Rotorua caldera has been raised to alert level 1. Please stay tuned for more updates and information on this current situation.
Hello. We have an official update from Civil Defense on the current status of the incident that happened in the city of Rotorua this morning. At least 500 people have been reported to have died from the gases, and thousands more have been injured. In the case that there may be another incident like this coming from the Rotorua caldera, officials have advised residents not to go back to their current areas of residence and instead seek refuge elsewhere. Local hotels, motels, and camping grounds have opened up towards letting residents into their accommodation for free. There are some reports that this incident has mirrored the Lake Nyos incident in Cameroon in 1986, where a similar lake emitted gases that killed more than 1,000 inhabitants around the area. It is widely believed that this is similar to the Lake Nyos disaster. We will cut to the Prime Minister shortly, who will make a nationwide announcement regarding this event.
This is not a test. May we please have your attention? The following message has been issued at 2:52 p.m. New Zealand Standard Time on the 30th of June, 2025. This message has been authorized by TVNZ at the request of Civil Defense and GeoNA. This is a regional earthquake alert. A large earthquake has struck the Hamurana area. GeoNA have confirmed that the size of the earthquake is at least a 7.9 magnitude tremor. While there is no word on if there might be a stronger earthquake, it is highly advised to keep away from any unsafe buildings or structures. There are widespread reports that multiple buildings or houses have come down as a result of this earthquake. Multiple roads and areas have been cut off as well. In order to keep yourself and your family safe, move outdoors and into any clearing or flat away that is away from unsafe structures. Areas such as large roads, fields, or a pitch may work as an area where you and your neighbors may gather. As well as that, it is also important to not approach down power lines, as you could risk getting electrocuted. Do not approach large bodies of water such as lakes or rivers, as the earthquake may have triggered a tsunami or a tidal wave within those areas. Check in on friends, families, or neighbors in case they may have been affected by the earthquake. As well as that, it is also important not to make unnecessary calls to emergency services, as you could be holding up the line for more important emergencies. It is unclear if this earthquake has something to do with the toxic gases that were produced from Rotorua caldera no less than 2 days ago. However, it is still generally advised to remain away from the area until further notice. Public shelters will be set up for currently displaced residents, as well as food and resources provided. This has been an emergency broadcast from Civil Defense. Thank you for listening.
This is not a test. This is an emergency alert issued at the request of civil defense. All national networks and radio stations have been shut down in order for this message to go through. This message has been broadcast to all regions within the North Island at 3:46 p.m. on the 16th of July 2025. Please pay attention to the following broadcast. Following recent studies conducted by GeoNet, the Rotorua caldera lake has been raised to a volcanic alert level 2. Unlike the level 1 alert that was issued on the 28th of June, alert level 2 signifies that there is heightened volcanic unrest near the Rotorua caldera. It is at the New Zealand government's interest at 11:59 p.m. tonight, all residents within a 30 km diameter of the caldera are to leave their homes in a government-issued evacuation. It is uncertain as to how long the evacuation will last. However, it is best advised to remain away from the caldera until further notice. Research has shown that the water temperatures on the Rotorua caldera have tripled in their average temperatures and is continuing to get warmer. During the evacuations, it is important not to panic as you could put not only yourself but other people's lives in danger. Make sure to pack essential items such as food, water, a battery-powered radio, a disposable P2 or N95 particle respirator, safety goggles, a first aid kit, and a waterproof torch. It is important to pack certain items in the event that there is a potential volcanic eruption. As for everyone else who reside within other regions of the North Island, pack an emergency evacuation kit, and make evacuation plans in the case that you and your family need to evacuate. Make sure to purchase proper masks and goggles as well as food and water. While there is no confirmed data for a volcanic eruption, it is advised to prepare yourself in case there is an eruption. Public shelters and camps will be open to the public if evacuated residents have nowhere else to go. Emergency meetings will take place within Rotorua tonight before the evacuations from civil defense officials who will help assist with the evacuations. Take care, good luck, and stay strong, Rotorua.
Good evening. We have got word that an official evacuation order has been given out to all areas within 30 kilometers of Rotorua caldera. GeoNet has raised the volcanic alert level of the Rotorua caldera to an alert level 2. This means that there is moderate volcanic unrest within the area and that it is strongly advised for people to move away. We now switch to our correspondent in Rotorua who has more word on the situation.
After an announcement was broadcasted to the North Island today, many people within Rotorua have begun evacuation procedures. Emergency meetings are being held in community centres around Rotorua as civil defence officials inform residents as to what is going on. Areas that are currently being evacuated include Rotorua, Linmore, Ngongoda Valley, Mamaku, Wakarurua, Ngakuru, and Horohoro. From 11:59 p.m. tonight, roadblocks will be set up around the area. Highways that go through or into Rotorua such as State Highway 30, State Highway 5, State Highway 36, and State Highway 33 will all be blocked. Families are gathering supplies and personal belongings and evacuating the area. We don't know if there is the possibility of an eruption from the Rotorua caldera. However, officials are also monitoring Mount Tarawera as well in case there is an imminent volcanic eruption around the area. Back to you.
Hello, this is... Hello. It's me. I've done a
data check and I regret to inform you that my predictions may be true.
What prediction have you made?
We might be seeing an eruption from the Rotorua caldera or within that region in the next 2 months from now. I've estimated it to be something of a super volcanic eruption that would cause widespread damage and fatalities.
Do you have proof?
For God's sakes, man. We don't have time to discuss this. I'll email some of the charts to you.
Listen, I'll contact GeoNet, and
There have been 844 tremors within the Taupo volcanic zone alone within the past week. We need to begin thinking about nationwide evacuations from...
I'll call you back.
Wait, don't hang...
We have breaking news as Rotorua caldera has erupted. While we don't know how big the devastation is yet, we know that most residents are outside of the red zone, meaning that there shouldn't be too many fatalities. However, Civil Defence advises all residents within the Bay of Plenty and Waikato regions to remain indoors until further notice. Masks and goggles have been issued to people who may be vulnerable to volcanic ash, such as asthmatic people and people who have breathing difficulties. Incredible footage taken by our news helicopter flying near the Rotorua volcanic caldera shows large plumes of ash shooting up from the ground. Base surges are appearing from the site of the eruption. We don't know what the current state of the city of Rotorua is right now, but it does appear that ash clouds may be moving towards the area right now as well as other neighboring areas. We will say this again. Residents who are in the Bay of Plenty or the Waikato region should stay indoors and wear goggles or masks.
All national news networks and stations have been shut down in order for this broadcast to play through. This message has been authorized at the request of Civil Defense at 3:58 p.m. on the 22nd of July, 2025. This message will be effective until further notice. This is not a test. Approximately 10 minutes ago at 3:47 p.m. New Zealand Standard Time, large plumes of ash have begun to appear from the Rotorua caldera lake. Information is limited, but there are base surges and pyroclastic flows that have been produced from the eruption. For residents in the regions of the Bay of Plenty and Waikato, it is vital that you listen to the following instructions to keep yourself and your family safe. If you are currently outside, it is strongly advised to seek shelter indoors in whatever building or structure you are nearest to. If you are caught in a volcanic ash fall, you must wear any form of material over your mouth and your nose to prevent inhaling ash and other hazardous materials. If you are indoors, make sure to place damp cloths or towels underneath doors and windows in order to prevent ash or dust from coming inside of your house. Make sure to protect outdoor belongings such as machinery and vehicles and place them in a garage or a shed. If you own livestock or pets, it is also important to keep them inside. If there is ash in your water supply, conserve water and make sure to ration it. Emergency personnel will arrive into affected areas and supply residents with water. Avoid driving in heavy ashfall as you may stall your vehicle and clog up the engine. As well as that, you may risk getting into an accident. All flights within the North Island will be grounded and all flights heading to major urban areas within the North Island will also be diverted. Heavy ash fall may generate a mix of volcanic debris, pyroclastic material, and hot rocks in rivers or streams, which may generate a lahar. Normally lahars originate on the slopes of volcanoes, but river valleys such as the Waikato River and Lake Tarawera may contain volcanic debris. Civil defense authorities will enter major urban areas within the regions of the Waikato and the Bay of Plenty in order to evacuate people. The areas include Hamilton, Cambridge, Tauranga, Whakatane, Taupo. and other urban areas around the regions. If the eruption progresses or gets more severe, a national state of emergency will be placed for all of New Zealand, as ash fall may affect large and significant areas of the North Island and potentially kill the country's food supply. This has been an emergency broadcast from Civil Defence. The Prime Minister of New Zealand is expected to make an announcement regarding this matter. Keep up to date with all news and information sources, and if you are outside of the affected regions, contact your local civil defence official and be informed on an evacuation plan. Thank you for paying attention to this broadcast.
Hello everyone. I understand that many of you are overwhelmed or panicked about the very recent news and information regarding the eruption of the Rotorua caldera. However, it is important to stay informed on how to keep yourself and your family out of harm's way. The ash fall from the current eruption will most likely spread across all of the North Island overnight. There are already places like Tauranga and Hamilton that are already reporting severe ashfall. It is likely that the ash clouds will in fact reach the cities of Auckland and Wellington. To prevent lots of fatalities, all state highways running through and around the North Island will be closed. All forms of aircraft will be grounded. We are already getting word that pyroclastic surges have engulfed the city of Rotorua and areas around it. There are as many as 1,500 people who are reported as missing within the area. It is unlikely that any of them survived the flows. Now, while the pyroclastic flows have ultimately stopped, there is a report that this could be an indicator of a Verneshot event. At the time of eruption, a large shockwave was reported to have been felt as far as Christchurch, as well as a powerful blast that knocked down trees within a 50 kilometers radius of the caldera. Since the eruption occurred on the Taupo volcanic rift, there is no doubt that this could be a Verneshot event. We regret to inform the people of Aotearoa that there will shortly be another powerful eruption that will be even more devastating than this. It will cause a mass extinction level event that will level the landscape of New Zealand and will most likely cause mass starvation globally. Eruptions this severe haven't been seen within the past 100,000 years. On the behalf of all of New Zealand, all we can say is that we wish the survivors of humanity good luck.
Do not turn off your devices. This is an emergency alert. A large explosion of ash, magma, and gas has been detected within the Rotorua caldera. Fatality estimates are unknown, but it appears that large chunks of the Earth have been ejected into the upper atmosphere. This will in turn rain back down upon the North Island. Areas surrounding the crater will experience more intense and concentrated rainfall of earth and rocks. If you are within the radius of these falling materials, you are risking certain death. A large rift or crack approximately 5 kilometers wide in diameter has appeared at the site of the Verneshot eruption. It's estimated to be at least 120 kilometers long, stretching from the area of Mautiri to Paingaroa. Pyroclastic surges are expanding from the base of the Verneshot eruption. They are heading towards areas such as Hamilton, Tauranga, Auckland, and Palmerston North at speeds of more than 400 kilometers per hour. You face certain and imminent death if you are in the path of this flow. For all the citizens who currently reside within both the Waikato and Bay of Plenty regions, all we can do is wish you the best of luck. You have no chance of survival at this point. Do what you can do and spend your final moments with your loved ones. If you still have time, however, and you are near the east or west coastlines, get on a boat or a vessel and travel to the South Island. Emergency camps will be set up there. Magnitude 8 earthquakes or higher have also been felt as far away as Wellington and Kaitaia. Explosion which has presumably reached as far as 200 kilometers site. If you are within any other region of New Zealand, you must take all means to
All current programming has been shut down in order for this emergency broadcast to play through. This message has been issued at the request of the Australian Government and the Australian Department of Geology. This message has been issued at 12:37 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. This is not a test. A large volcanic eruption has occurred within the nation of New Zealand. This eruption is commonly known as a Verneshot event, and it is estimated to be the most powerful volcanic eruption within the last 100,000 years. Large portions of land within New Zealand have shot up into the stratosphere as high as at least 60,000 feet. The debris is expected to rain down all around New Zealand and parts of Australia. The ensuing earthquakes and shockwaves produced from the eruption has triggered devastating tsunami waves that will make landfall on southern parts of Australia within 2 hours from now. It is estimated that the state of Tasmania and the state of Queensland have been affected by the waves. The waves are estimated to be at least 300 meters tall and will be 100 meters tall or more by the time they strike Melbourne and Sydney. If you are within the path of this wave, move to high ground immediately or seek shelter in either a car or underground. You will face certain death if you are within the path of this wave. Do not waste time to pack belongings, as you may come back if your area is unaffected. Take care not to use a car, as most of the roads will be gridlocked with other residents who are evacuating. Instead, use a bike, public transport, or walk as alternative means of seeking high ground. Once you are within a safe area above the wave height, you are not to leave the area you are in until you have been given the all-clear broadcast or if the water has receded. It is likely that the ash produced from this sudden mega eruption in New Zealand will quickly block out the sun globally in the span of 2 weeks. From there, most plants will die out as food becomes scarce. Mass starvation will likely take place globally. However, the Australian government has a plan. Large nationwide bunkers that produce artificially grown wheat and plants will be created. Thanks to these bunkers, food supply in Australia will still be normal. However, it may become limited if there is lots of demand for artificially grown products. This has been an emergency broadcast from the Australian government. Take care, good luck, and God bless our fair nation.
This is an official warning that has been issued by the Fiji government. All televisions and devices within the nation of Fiji should be airing this broadcast. This is a national emergency. A large volcanic eruption within the North Island of New Zealand has sent a powerful shockwave that is traveling faster than the speed of sound. Large rocks and chunks of land that have been ejected from the volcanic eruption have crashed into the South Pacific Ocean that has produced large tsunamis. Scientists have created a map that shows where the biggest impact sites are and how long it will take for the tsunami waves to reach the islands of Viti Levu and Vanua Levu. The biggest impact has occurred at least 72 kilometers away from Viti Levu Island. A state of emergency will be placed for all residents of the island. You need to evacuate to high ground immediately. The tsunami wave will make landfall approximately 12 minutes from now. You do not have time to pack up your belongings, or else you will face certain death. The estimated wave height will be taller than 50 meters. Houses that are made of basic wood or are lower than 20 meters above sea level will be destroyed. All beaches will be flooded as well as most marine vessels such as fishing boats will be severely damaged if not destroyed. After the tsunami has struck, a message will be sent out, which will signify if it is either safe or not to return back to your homes. Ash from the volcanic eruption in New Zealand will affect the current weather of Fiji. Most crops and plants will die, and ash will most likely cover the entire island. Unfortunately, we cannot advise anything other than to remain indoors and to wear a mask. The Royal Australian Navy will supply food and resources to residents, and if the nation of Fiji does become uninhabitable due to massive amounts of ashfall, you will be able to be evacuated to other islands if not Australia. Thank you for paying attention to this broadcast, and please move as far away from the coastlines as possible.
Avertissement. Ce n'est pas un test. Il s'agit d'une émission d'urgence émise par le gouvernement de la Nouvelle-Calédonie et le gouvernement de la France. Tous les appareils ont été fermés jusqu'à nouvel ordre. Cette émission sera diffusée en anglais et en français. Puissions-nous s'il vous plaît avoir votre attention immédiate sur cette émission. Une éruption volcanique en Nouvelle-Zélande a provoqué des effets catastrophiques, qui se feront bientôt sentir dans le monde entier. Des cendres volcaniques ont été produites à partir de l'éruption et couvriront la plupart des parties du continent océanique ainsi que des parties de l'Asie et de l'Amérique du Nord. Il est probable que le nuage de cendres produit bloquera le soleil dans les 2 semaines et tuera toute la vie végétale dans les 5 mois. Une onde de choc qui a été produite à partir de l'éruption a été ressentie dans certaines parties de la Nouvelle-Calédonie telles que Nouméa et Pointe-Dimier. Cette onde de choc a endommagé de nombreuses structures telles que des immeubles résidentiels et des gratte-ciels. Au moins 10 personnes ont été tuées jusqu'à présent par l'onde de choc. De grandes parties de la Terre qui ont été éjectées lors de l'éruption, dans la haute atmosphère, ont recommencé à pleuvoir sur le continent océanique. La plupart des roches ont atterri dans l'océan Pacifique Sud, ce qui a produit des vagues de tsunami qui ont touché les Fidji, les Samoa, Niue, les Tonga et la Polynésie française. Très prochainement, une vague de tsunami touchera également l'île de Nouvelle-Calédonie. C'est pourquoi nous demandons à tous les habitants des secteurs de Nouméa, Boulou-Paris, Dumbéa, les îles Loyauté et toutes les autres agglomérations du sud de la Nouvelle-Calédonie d'évacuer immédiatement vers les hauteurs. Puisqu'il y a eu de multiples impacts des rochers, la taille des vagues du tsunami peut varier. Cependant, l'impact le plus proche qui n'est pas à plus de 65 km a produit un tsunami d'au moins 50 mètres de haut. Il frappera l'île dans 13 minutes à partir de maintenant. Tu n'as pas le temps. Évacuez maintenant, sinon vous pourriez faire face à une mort certaine et imminente. Il est probable que toute la ville de Nouméa sera inhabitable après cela. Ne perdez pas de temps à emballer vos affaires et évacuez tant que vous le pouvez encore. Merci de votre attention.